Like that's the two best acts that you can get for the money. They're really good. This is a good friend of mine, right? He's fantastic. Boss, amazing. It'll take him a while to get up, he's fat. But so I'm just going to carry on talking. But honestly, brilliant. You're going to give him a hand to Mike Carter. Give him a round of applause, everyone. You're looking over. There you go, Mike Carter, everyone.
Adam Hughes. Care in the community. Doing his fucking community service. Cheers for the warm welcome though, guys. Generally when I come on stage, people can be a little bit disappointed when I don't tell them that they're going to Hogwarts. To be completely honest with you, I used to have a totally different opening line, but if I'd never memorised the fucking numbers from Lost. So I had a bit of a strange year last year. I lost my job. Yeah, it was rough. I got told I do not represent the face of Barclaycard. Which is one thing, but I worked in a call centre. And I said on the way out while I was being dragged out, how can I not represent the face of Barclaycard? Look at my face. It's badly put together and doesn't give a shit about customers either. So after losing my job, I had to move back in with my nan. And I love my nan, but you know when someone's slowly trying to drive you insane? I came home from a gig the other night and she said to me, Mike, someone rang for you while you were out. I said, who was it? Didn't say. What did they want? I didn't ask. Where were they from? They didn't tell me. Anyway, you've got the picture, haven't you? And then recently she tried to tell me about someone we both know getting a little bit of decorating work done. She goes to me, Mike, do you know Tony O'Brien? I said, no. Do you know Anna O'Brien? No. You know Josh though? I said, I went to school with Josh. Yeah, Nan, I remember Josh. Well, do you know his house? Nan, I haven't seen him in 15 years. You know his house though? It's the one up the road, down the lane and round the corner. No? You do know Josh's house. Betty and Frank used to live there. And then they moved away. Frank died, 57. That was no age to go. And then Jimmy from the market stall had it. Bald Jimmy the wig. So I said, what about this fucking house, Nan? Anne's had the front door painted, it looks lovely. I'm back in my room going, I wonder what shade of red it is. I only went in the kitchen for a cup of tea. But my nan's house is in a place called Croxteth, if you've heard of us. Mostly famous for giving the world the Rooney family. You're welcome. That's a weird thing, Wayne Rooney being the most famous person to come from, you know, where you live. Because a lot of people think it's a big deal, and it is, until you realise the second most famous person to come from Croxteth is a smackhead who went viral after getting a hand stuck in a postbox. And, you know, I had my own place, I had a job. I thought Croxteth would be different in the 5 or 6 years I was away. And it's still exactly the same. It's still a shit council estate. And I knew I was back when I walked out my nan's front door and I was greeted by the spectacle of a 53-year-old man riding a bike with no hands because he'd freed them up to roll a joint. Being pulled along by 3 Jack Russells called Stallone, Springsteen and Rambo. And I'm looking at this like, Jesus Christ. All right, Dad. Kidding, obviously, I'm from Croxteth, I've never met my dad. Worst part about my nan's house, though, it is right by a school, so we get all the noise and the traffic and the kids and everything. And I've gotten used to being woken up twice a day by this one young mum, you know, standing on the corner, bright orange fake tan, purple leopard print tracksuit, hair in curlers, looks like she's going on an undercover mission in a Salvador Dali painting. And she'll be screaming at the top of her lungs, Tracy, Leanne, Tasha, Christabel, Mary, Louise, Siobhan, Kendall, Brianna, Destiny, Chastity, Hope, Avril, Saphira, Malaria, get here, now! and one kid comes running round that corner. Oh, again though, it was a weird year for me last year. I turned 30. Yeah, I wasn't that bothered either. But it took me a while to realise I'd done what a lot of people do as they get older and turned into an old git. I didn't notice until I was on the bus recently with a group of teenage girls, about 5 of them, either that or 5 kettles all going off at once. And they weren't doing anything to me. They were just listening to music, you know, watching YouTube, Snapchatting. And I'm sitting in there listening to a band who broke up in 1987 on headphones I got from Poundland, on an MP3 player I got from Argos for 10 quid 15 years ago. Going, it's trouble with these kids, they don't know how to have fun anymore. And then I've realised that I've lost the ability, as I've gotten older, to tell how old someone is if they're younger than me. All I've got is, they're about 12. Some lad put a football through my nan's window this past summer, and I phoned the police and that, and they turned up and they said, can you identify him? Description? And I said, yeah mate, he's about 12. And they brought this kid back to my nan's house, and I'm looking at him. He had a full beard, a voice like Darth Vader, and a fucking mortgage. Worst part of it was I can't enjoy a night out anymore, I'm just too old for it. My mate took me to Concert Square for his birthday, and I was just like, I felt every inch of being 30. So they're all there dancing to this terrible rap music, this one song that's going, you're a bitch if you sit down, who wants to sit down? You're a bitch if you sit down, who wants to sit down? And I'm like, I'm a bitch. And my mate's trying to pull all these birds on a night out, you know, classic Scouse girls on a night out. Got the false nails, look like Wolverine from the X-Men. And this one of these wall units you get in nightclubs starts having a go at him for pulling this one particular bird. He's going, hey, she's coming home with the big dog tonight, lad. And I'm like, I've got to get involved now, haven't I? Rover, leave them alone. And he gets right up in my face and he's like, listen, fat boy, I'm getting that pussy by any means necessary, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I sat on him. These nights out though have demonstrated to me one thing that I've suspected for a while, that it's tougher than it's ever been to be fat, particularly since thin people invented diabetes. You know it was you. Who else would give us a disease you can treat with an emergency chocolate bar? Thing is, you're all nurses, so you know I'm talking shit. And you're probably like, you do look like a decent candidate for diabetes as well, mate. But cheers for that, John. Oh, fucking hell. Now, no one even wants to call you fat anymore, though. They'll call you something politically correct, won't they, these days? Like bubbly, fluffy, or chunky. That's thin people again taking the piss. They're just using coded language, because those words are more regularly used to describe chocolate, cake and peanut butter. For me, the worst offender, is anyone familiar with a shop called Giacomo? Yeah. If you're not, they're a plus size clothing shop. They sell everything fat men need except dignity. I mean, my main problem with the one back home in Liverpool is that it's on the 2nd floor. First day I went in there, I was only looking for jeans, and the guy that worked there, the assistant, came up to me and goes, I'm going to be your stylist for today. And I went, mate, when you're this size, it's not about style, it's about containment. He said, what are you looking for? I said, jeans. He goes, would burgundy chinos be acceptable? I said, have they ever? I just want plain black jeans, mate. So he takes me over to the jeans, and in Giacomo, my size is labelled husky. Exactly, you can see where this is going. Do I look like I can run for 18 hours a day pulling a fucking sled? I know, people say to you, well, you've got some advantages being fat, haven't you? You're harder to kidnap. How is that an advantage? You're supposed to kidnap someone people would actually want back, for one thing. If I went missing for 3 days, me nan would be like, well, he's out the house, isn't he? Imagine trying to cut through these bastards to send them through the mail. What you're telling me when you say being harder to kidnap is a benefit of being fat is that I'm the human trafficking equivalent of a Great Dane. A lot of people would like to take me home, but they don't have the car space and can't afford the food bill. But you know, I have been getting the signs, as you can see looking at me, that it's time to lose the weight. You know, like getting in a lift and the overload alarm going off. Getting to the top of a hill and thinking, fuck it, I'll roll. And when I was in Giacomo, I was talking to that assistant, and I said, what waistband would you recommend for someone my size? And he said, gastric. So I thought, you know, I'll sign up with one of these weight loss programs because they say they're here to help fat people. I went with Weight Watchers, but confusingly they also sell their own range of cakes, which to me is just like snack methadone. It'll get you through, but it makes you want the real thing. And Weight Watchers, even there, taking the piss, like these nurses turning up late. Oh, well, to be fair, I wouldn't see you, would I? And neither would these. Even Weight Watchers, though, are taking the piss. The first question they ask you on their website isn't how much weight you want to lose, how much you weigh now, anything like that. First question Weight Watchers ask you is, have you accepted cookies? Oh, come on, that's good. I've had to put up with this shit for a long time as well, you know. Thin people with jokes everywhere I went. I had a goth phase as a teenager. They're clearly enjoying it. That I had to give up because everywhere I went, people made the same lame joke. Here he comes, Vampire the Buffet Slayer. Cheers, guys. I've been Mike Carter.
Mike Carter.
Yeah.
You've got a couple of new arrivals. That's it.